Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Caffeinated or Die. My name, of course, is Antwon the Great, and I have been joined by a couple wonderful people this morning. My consummate co-host, Sparky from Sparky's Tech Corner. I'm also joined by our brand new co-host, Antihero Broadcast, and guest co-host and star of CNN, Ishtar. How are you doing, darling?
Hello. How are you boys? It is way too early. It's a good thing I like you, Antwon.
Well, I'm glad you like me too. Good morning, Sparky, Antihero. How is everyone?
I am not in a good mood, actually.
Why are you not in a good mood?
Well, I don't know. Why don't we ask my co-hosts why I'm not in a good mood?
What did you guys do?
And it's interesting that I can say that you should ask my co-hosts what I did. You see, as of roughly, 12 hours ago, I didn't even know that I would be able to say my co-hosts. See, what had happened was I, out of the kindness of my own flipping heart, went to Antwon and said, hey, Twanius G, Papa Twan, motherfucker. Do you need somebody to fill in again for Caffeinated or Die? And Twan said, oh no, we don't need anyone because you're our new permanent co-host. And I said,
I do not sound
when
like
that. Shut up, Twan. It's my turn to talk. And I said, Twan, what do you mean I'm the new permanent co-host? When was it decided? And Twan said, oh, we decided it quite some time ago. We were going to tell you at a later point. Twan, tomorrow is Caffeinated or Die. I know. So when were you going to tell me that I was the new permanent co-host? More importantly, when were you going to ask me to be the new permanent co-host? And he goes, oh, well, I was going to inform you of the decision this evening. You know, when you got home from work. You mean less than 10 hours from go time? Yes, quite. Ishtar, deal with him. And that was the extent of the conversation. That was literally it. That was it. And this was me being brought into this whole Caffeinated or Die co-hosting thing. And there is no amount of rum and coke that is fixing my mood this morning.
Okay.
Although I'm going to try to use a lot of it to fix it.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty accurate, especially your rendition of Antwon's accent. I mean, that was dead on, man.
Oh my.
Time out. That was not my decision in this. My decision in this whole deal was, Antwon, you fucking nuts. You really want him to be a permanent co-host? I don't approve of this.
And I told you, shut up or I'm going to unplug you. All right. Let's say before we get any further, since we're already late, let's say good morning to the chat, shall we? How's it going, everyone? Good morning, Queen of the South, Kadant, James, Big T.
The reason we're late, Chad, is entirely my fault. My laptop this morning decided that sound, both input and output, was overrated. And I spent roughly the last 10 minutes trying to make my computer decide that sound is not overrated after all.
Oh, come on. You know that you can mime throughout this entire thing.
Yeah, but I couldn't hear anything either.
I would present you the entire time. You could just mime your way through the entire. But I
literally could not hear anything either. I don't understand why no one's tracking with this. Input and output were gone.
I get that. I'm just saying.
It just looks strange.
And I
mean, more so than usual. What do you want, you sparky toad bastard?
Could it be that your computer was trying to tell you something?
I don't know, Sparky. What do you think my computer is trying to tell me? Please, enlighten me. Regale me with tales, Sparktopus.
Maybe it didn't want to hear you this morning?
Ooh.
That's a possibility, but if that's the case, I can go right now and leave y'all to flounder without my August presence. And let's be honest, that's what you would do.
All right, let's finish saying good morning, and then we can bicker and everything. I have some wonderful articles brought up that everyone can read. So, good morning, Kadant, Big T, Jacob, Queen of the South, Golden Bananator. It's been a while. Fermion, of course, is here. James, Everyone is here. Good morning. So, but aside from
the semantics game in the chat. We should
hello,
say hi to her too.
Hello, semantics game. Who is semantics game? This is the first time.
That is one of my very best friends.
Oh.
Hello, semantics game.
You better venture right now.
You may call her Samaface. That's the best way to
okay.
Samaface.
Well, hello, Samaface. Good morning. I'm glad you're
here.
No,
Antwon. Just say it properly. It's Samaface.
I said that.
No, you didn't. You said Samface. Oh my. That's what you said.
Yes, Coke in the world. All right. So, as you can see, we have a guest host along with our brand new co-host, and that's Ishtar. So, Ishtar, aside from me basically looking at you and going, I'm sending you a link because Antihero is having technical difficulties and you're going to be a co-host today.
You didn't exactly give me a choice, no.
Have you noticed that seems to be his biggest MO? He and I are going to have a conversation about that later.
Is it going to involve violence?
Probably. The last 20 minutes of this show lately has all been about violence, threats, and, Antwon's anus tentacles.
Look, we are not talking about the garbage stream that happened
I think we already did.
No. Do you... I know you kind of jumped in here unprepared because you were not prepared. Haha. I've already used it. I'm going to come up with a new tagline. Deal with it. Do you happen to have any articles that you may want to look at? Maybe something that you would drop on CNN tonight?
I hadn't actually found those yet, but give me a few minutes and I'll come up with something for you.
All right.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Sama, Anvir, we're going to get into those tentacles later. We're going to get into them.
We are not getting
Listen, we're going to get into them. They're going to get into Sparky. It's going to be a great time for everybody.
Just Sparky?
Well, I don't want Antwon's anal tentacles inside me. Fuck that. Nope.
I've been celibate. I could totally go for some tentacles right now.
From Antwon?
Ishtar, darling,
tentacles.
I will tentacle you.
I'm open-minded.
Look, all I know is that do you really want to hear this the entire time? Oh, do you like that? Yes, do you like that? Yes, you clearly love that. My God. No, nobody fucking wants to watch that. Nobody wants to watch that.
Well, Auntie, do you have tentacles? Can you solve my problem?
I occasionally have tentacles, if asked politely.
You have a tentacle.
I have several thousand tentacles. I am in many lives a tentacle monster. You really want to play this game? I can prove it with DMs.
I'm going to borrow Auntie, okay? Just for a little while.
I don't think she'd approve. I really don't. I think she'd be very upset with you.
Oh my God.
Why would you do that?
Antwon throw broad Twan.
Wow. Well, if you just change that around so I'm the one who's clearly on top, I'll be perfectly okay with that.
Nope, the dunce says mine, so
that's usually how that goes.
Not borrow.
All right, so we have this amazing episode planned where we do all this cool stuff. And we were going to do a lot of cool things for your chat. We were going to do free giveaways. There were going to be t-shirt cannons. Sparky and I had all kinds of stuff planned. And what happened was that Antwon was like, no, we're not doing any of that because that would be gay. So now we're stuck here just reading fucking news stories. I'm really sorry about that.
You didn't tell me about anything about a t-shirt cannon.
We were doing all kinds of stuff. We had so many plans, Sparky and I. And Antwon was like, none of this shit's ever going to happen. I hate all of you, and I'm going to run this the way I want to, which is going to be awful. He actually said that, too. He actually said that.
Wait, no. Now you're doing the exact same thing that Antwon's doing.
What's that?
I had no fucking knowledge of this until now.
No. Sparky. We talked about this. We did. I was right there. I may have reprogrammed you afterwards a little bit, but that doesn't mean we didn't talk about this.
No, Big T, I did not finally build Zach's space pirate ship.
No, that was somebody else who built that, and we are ready. We will be launching very shortly.
Oh, God. What?
My space pirate ship was built.
What?
What? No, it was. Totally.
talking to you.
Well, screw you. No, the space pirate ship was built for Zach, Drake, and Jade. It will be used later on. Not at this point, though. It's not quite ready for liftoff.
All right.
All right.
So, if we haven't done it in a while, we're supposed to. What is everyone drinking this morning to keep themselves awake?
I've got myself a cherry Coke and a Monster.
Auntie, what type of alcohol are you drinking today?
What type of alcohol am I always drinking?
Rum and something.
I have rum and Coke right now.
All right.
I think I put a little bit too much rum in this one, but you know what? Fuck it.
I am drinking some wonderful, non-caffeinated sparkling water because I am still on a diet. So.
I'm not
Hold
drinking
up.
anything because I got dragged in here unwillingly and by force with a knife to my throat.
Hey,
No
Antwon.
preparation whatsoever.
Antwon, could you do me two favors? First off, would you go get Ishtar something to drink? Right, she needs a beverage. And two, would you stop being a flaming faggot and drink something real?
It is something real. It's helping me lose weight.
It's actually quite tasty.
Sparkling water? What the?
It's flavored.
You are disgusting. You have lost your... No, I am revoking.
Pineapple.
As of this moment, I hereby, by the power vested in me, by the power of my chromosomes, being X and Y, I revoke your man card.
That's all right. I have my bi card.
No, that is also revoked because to be a bi card, you have to have a man part of that involved somewhere, and I am revoking that shit. It is revoked, and it has been witnessed by Sparky, who has witnessed the revoking, and now the revocation is complete.
No, that's not how it works.
You are now unpersoned. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you for treating me like the SJWs.
I am doing exactly that. I am practicing for my oppression state later.
God.
All right. Well, I got an announcement to make once you get done.
You're pregnant?
Done?
You're never getting this done, Antwon.
Is he pregnant?
Possibly.
Sparky.
Are you pregnant?
No.
He sounds disappointed by that.
Wow, he was checking. He was hoping.
Yeah. I'm going to go do the manly thing and get Ishtar something to drink. You all entertain the chat. There's 20 of them. Hey, we have a mundane match.
Good. Now somebody go flag somebody's content, and they'll be all complete.
Ouch.
So what is your announcement, Sparktopus?
My announcement is I finally got my Discord server up and running. I have a link to the chat. Anyone's welcomed in. I do have some rules. Follow the rules, behave, and have fun. It's still in the middle of being built and worked on, so it's kind of incomplete, but I'm learning how to run Discord a little bit better now. I've actually had help from a couple people, mainly one person by the name of John Diok, and she has been very helpful in helping setting this up, and I want to thank her as well. Yeah, I've been up all night editing videos, so I'm kind of tired.
Is this dead air or is my sound bad again?
Oh, it's dead air. That's
what the fuck is wrong with you people? I walk away to take a piss for 5 seconds and you're like, I'm dead air.
Hey, you know what? I'm done with my announcement. I'm waiting for you guys to interject or
I
jump
was
in.
clearly, and I mean clearly, muted. So you should have done something, Sparky, to keep that up. You should have been talking to people. You should be getting the chat involved. There's all kinds of things going on. Ben Cooper is accusing Antwon of being gender neutral. That's totally true. And Demon's Noob is like, it's a trap! Which, if you're talking about Antwon, is totally true. And Demonis goes back with you killed the stream again, Sparky. You drink garbage lime beer. That's probably true, actually. Do you drink Bud Lime, Sparky?
No, I drink margarita, lime margaritas.
Sparky, I would like you to find the rock that you came out from under and quickly crawl back into that.
Fuck off.
All right. So
No,
what is-
thank you.
Not only do I have a drink, but Antwon has put Pop-Tarts in to toast for me, so I have something to eat.
Oh, that's adorable. Can you sense my sarcasm?
Yes.
Can you sense it?
No.
It was pretty much spelled out. So
It's dripping off of my every fucking syllable.
You know, why are you being sarcastic? You told him to
Because it's early in the morning.
You told him go get me a drink, and he did. And then all of a sudden, it's not good enough. What is wrong with
I
you?
don't think you track with what's going on here, but I'll explain it to you so you feel better about your life. I told him to get you something. He then did that.
Yes, he did. Because
You're right. He then did what I told him to do.
You're looking for.
This does not remove the lack of man card.
So whiny.
There's no whining here, dear. In fact, I distinctly recall you being the one, he dragged me here, kicking and screaming with a knife to my throat, and I hate it. Which sounds pretty whiny to me.
Oh, I was totally whining.
I know.
Okay.
I own up to it.
Okay. I don't know how I am.
Okay, everyone pay attention to me. My name is Antwon.
Quiet.
Shut up. Be right back.
All right. Let's get started. And Anti-Hero, you sent me a very interesting article this morning.
I did. I was very amused to take a look at it. I try to look for articles that are militarily interesting because I'm an army guy myself, or at least I used to be. And this particular, if it's the story that we're talking about, this particular story is apparently a couple of years ago, a special operations team in Kandahar, if I remember correctly. It's in Afghanistan, out near Kandahar, killed a Nephilim.
So the title reads, Bizarre Claims U.S. Special Ops Killed 12-foot Afghan Red-Haired Biblical Giant.
Uh-huh.
Wait. Call me a little crazy, but red-haired giant in Afghanistan seems a little out of place.
Doesn't it, though?
I mean,
there's an actual video interview, too. But I'm not sure if we can play that because it's a little bit longer than 3.5 seconds.
The video wouldn't be able to be heard by the chat anyway.
All right, so I can go ahead and read this news story, though, if you like.
Yes. Really quick, though, for everyone in the chat, Kadant is going to be spamming a link to a GoFundMe. You really, really, really should go check it out and help out a veteran and a really genuine and honestly funny person. Antihero is in need of some help, and it's the best thing to help him out. So check out the link, and if you can, even $1, donate to him.
If you don't, he will dig pitfall traps with punji sticks in them for you.
This is quite possibly true, but only if you live in my area.
All around your housing, you won't know he's there, because if he doesn't get funded, basically what's going to happen is he's going to wander the US and he's going to find everyone who didn't help him out and dig, pitfall traps in their front yard. So
not their front yard; it's in their backyard, so that their dog falls in.
Well.
I only have a nickel. Would that spare me the bungee trap? The bungee trap?
Punji, Punji.
Punji trap.
Punji sticks.
Would
Possibly.
a nickel do it? Because that's all I have.
Possibly. It depends on what kind of nickel.
It's a wooden nickel.
Nope.
Nickel?
That won't help.
Like
Wooden
a
nickels
regular
get you killed.
metal
All
Either that, he'll pull a lieutenant. Was it lieutenant Doggett?
No lieutenants in basic training. That's all drill sergeants. We're gonna move on now. So, are we ready for the first news story of the day?
All right, like I said, bizarre claims. U.S. Special Ops killed 12-foot Afghan red-haired biblical giant. Go.
This is my story. I'll read the title. I'm very upset with you right now. All right. If I'm going to be a co-host, you need to afford me the same privileges of the rest of the co-hosts. I get to read my own damn stories.
Yes, you read the
No,
story.
no,
I read
I'm
the
going to
titles.
reread. I'm going to reread it now. Bizarre claims that U.S. Special Ops killed 12-foot Afghan red-haired biblical giant. U.S. Special Forces once killed a 12-foot red-haired biblical giant in Afghanistan, according to bizarre conspiracy theory online. Rumors have been circulating for years that the American military killed a creature which was 3 times the size of a normal man. The beast was supposedly shot dead after taking multiple hits in the Kandahar region when troops were looking for a missing patrol. This outlandish claim, which has been denied by the U.S. administration, has recently resurfaced on social media. It was first featured in a YouTube documentary produced by filmmaker and blogger L.A. Marzulli that was released 2 years ago. 2 self-proclaimed ex-Special Ops soldiers recalled the encounter with a supposed mythical monster. They alleged the giant killing was a common knowledge among fellow troops.
Wait. It was common knowledge among fellow troops.
But no one could speak publicly. One soldier described the giant as 3 times the size of a man and had extra digits on his hands and feet as it swung a huge blade. The other soldier said it was a man at least 12 to 15 feet high. This was a monster with a red beard, and his hair was longish past his shoulders. And Dan runs at him and starts shooting, which broke all of us into the reality because it was so surreal. The soldiers claimed Dan was killed by a blow from the sword, but the giant was killed following multiple hits. Allegedly, the creature's 11,000-pound carcass was airlifted away in a cargo net by a helicopter.
11,000 pounds.
And all those involved were forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement as the strange firefight was supposedly covered up. L.A. Marzulli is convinced the creature was the manifestation of a Nephilim, which is described in the book of Genesis as offspring of gods and humans. However, Snopes.com found the only serving soldier called Dan who was killed in that year in the war-torn country died with 3 others in an accident clearing explosives. The U.S. Department of Defense has no incidents in which military casualties involving a giant. The tallest man ever, Robert Wadlow, was 8 feet 11 inches when he died, aged 22 in 1940.
You're fucking kidding me.
Lieutenant Don!
Now, I would like to point out a few things, both for and against this particular story.
Can I ask
If
a
they
question
are-
first?
Sure.
Can a helicopter lift 11,000 pounds of giant?
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at, first off, the relative weight of your M1A1 Abrams, which is a main battle tank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weight of an M1A1 Abrams, 62 metric tons,
Good fucking God.
which comes out to, if my math is correct, and by correct, I mean if I can pull up my calculator, you have 2,000 pounds to a ton, correct?
It's either 2,000 or 1,000,
No,
depending
it's
on...
2,000. 2,000 pounds to a ton.
Okay.
So that's 136,000 pounds. Now, pardon me.
I don't think it was supposed to be 11,000 pounds. I think it was supposed to be 1,100 pounds. They just
And the
zero.
CH-47 Chinook, one of our major carrier helicopters, can lift that tank.
Okay.
So,
yes.
yes, you could have a helicopter of sufficient strength and power lift 11,000 pounds.
Okay.
But like I said, I think it was supposed to be 1,100 pounds. But still, that's because the people in the chat are saying even at 14 feet, 11,000 pounds, he would still be a giant fucking meatball.
I just want to point out that I read exactly what's right there.
I understand
Which is
that.
11,000 pounds.
But we
11,000 pounds of man.
But we, as commentators, get to then discuss the inaccuracies of the
Precisely.
report.
So here's 2 things I would throw out real quick, both for and against this sort of thing. The first one is that it later says on in the article that the only soldiers that were named Dan were this person and this person. If it's a special operations team, an actual undercover spec ops team, chances are that they weren't listed anywhere anyway. So trying to find them by saying, "Oh, Dan was killed out here. Let's find soldiers who were killed who are named Dan." That's going to net you nothing at all. But then, to go ahead and otherwise this, the government came in and just took the body and said you couldn't do anything and all that. Come on. Like that wouldn't become super everywhere in a heartbeat.
So what I'm okay, this goes to conspiracy theories.
Also, Nephilim are not the offspring of gods and humans.
No, it's angels
Nephilim
and
are the
humans.
offspring of angels and humans.
So what would be the end game of hiding the Nephilim body?
Well,
What
that
would
would
be the
depend
reason?
on what your particular mythos would be. So if the Nephilim are a consistent race that walks the earth, and they are an intelligent race, which they'd have to be if they are both angels and humans, that would mean that the U.S. and, let's be honest here, because we're going conspiracy theory, the U.S. and world governments would know all about them. In fact, there's an excellent chance, and bear with me here, an excellent chance that the Nephilim are part of the Illuminati. And so to find one who is essentially feral in the middle of Afghanistan and have U.S. soldiers kill him, something had to be done. They had to fix the problem. So they took the body, they covered it all up, they delivered the body back to the Illuminati, and the reptilians were staved off for one more day.
Auntie, I think
Yeah.
I think you know a little bit too much about this.
I do not know anything.
Are you
Putting chemicals in the water. Turn the
I-
fucking frogs gay.
Are you hiding Nephilim, Auntie?
Hiding Nephilim? No, Nephilim are not real. There's no such thing as Nephilim.
This
Angels and
article
humans.
says.
Angels and humans have never ever had sex before. They have never had children. There's nothing going on like that at all. We are totally fine.
Hey, Antwon, Moxley's asking you a question.
What?
So, anyone got bitten by potatoes recently?
Nope. Anyway, Auntie, did you get a hold of the non-disclosure agreement? Is that why?
I may have seen a few SF-312s in my day.
Yes, but did it have to do with this?
Antwon, the entire point of an SF-312 or a military non-disclosure agreement.
Were you the one being interviewed?
Antwon, the entire point of an SF-312 or military non-disclosure agreement is that you do not disclose information covered by the SF-312.
Look,
If
all
I
you have
knew
to do
anything
is
about it, I wouldn't be able to say yes or no anyway.
Just
This is
snap-
self-defeating
snap
conversation.
twice. Snap twice if you.
That would be telling, and then they would send people to come kill me. That's how this game works.
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering.
Well,
Since you seem
Antwon,
to
you should
know- you
wander in
seem
a
to know-
direction that's less likely to get your permanent co-host killed.
I'm still just wondering the fact that did you see the Nephilim?
You know what, Antwon? Here's my question: Are you not the embodiment of the internet?
Yes.
Then go find out on your own.
He's
Bam.
got you there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but it takes so much effort.
Yeah, but that's because you're lazy. You should work on that.
You have nothing else to do other than
At
run away
all.
from Sarah.
Moving on.
Cadunt tells the truth right there. She goes, first rule of SF-312 is you don't talk about the contents of SF-312. See, motherfucker? See? She knows what's going on.
She's
Oh,
repeating
no,
what you said.
Anvir.
Does she also not talk about Fight Club?
Yes, she does. Anvir, like, legitimately, if he does an internal Google search, we'll just hear a bunch of weird, creepy moaning noises, and then we won't be able to go further because we'll all vomit.
All right. Ishtar.
Yeah.
Since you sent this one, you get to read it.
Which one?
You'll see.
How many did you send, Ishi?
Oh, that one. I sent 3.
Good lord, stop overachieving.
I have to find like 3 or 4 every week for CNN, but once again, CNN is being preempted by drama bullshit, and that's kind of pissing me off.
I would like to say that I had no part in that, except that I may have had a part in that.
You had a part in the whole Andy Worski stealing money from somebody else thing.
No, just making the drama
Holy-
great again.
Why did you do that?
Because
It interrupts my show on Sundays with this bullshit.
there is a song called, I think, "Burn It Down." I think that should explain everything for you.
Don't burn down my show in the process.
Everything burns if you apply enough heat.
You're not nice.
Never said I was.
We're fighting now.
Go for it. Fight me. Fight me hard.
Totally.
Anyway.
Cadunt, smack your man. Get him in line.
Look, I think she'd be totally okay with helping me fight you hard. I don't know, but I just might want to check on that first.
Cadunt's idea of fighting me hard involves a bed and a locked door.
I think we're on the same page here.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely fighting then.
Woo!
Family horrified by polite notice, restaurant staff hands out.
A Nepalese restaurant in the UK has left a bad taste in one family's mouth after handing out a card informing parents to keep their children quiet while dining.
Because Nepalese food is awful. It's just rancid yak butter. Of course it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It tastes awful. I'm sorry.
Are you done?
Maybe.
The restaurant Nepalese chef in Gloucester has issued the laminated polite notice several times to families with small children and claims no one else has been upset. We decided to hand it out to anyone that turns up with young children to remind them that they have to be seated and children should not run in the restaurant due to hot food, the restaurant owner Kashi Sharma said to SWNS, adding that most people were absolutely fine with it. The notice was created after the restaurant experienced some issues with small children running around. It reads, "We request any customers dining in with young children to keep noise at a reasonable level and to not let children run around the restaurant. It is dangerous as our staff are often walking around with hot food. Additionally, it is inconsiderate to other diners." However, Sandeep Amin, who is visiting the restaurant to celebrate his birthday with his wife and 7-year-old daughter, was shocked and horrified by the notice. Once we got seated, within 2 minutes, our waiter turned up with this white laminated sheet on which it was written, "People with children should ask their children to be quiet and not disturb other guests," he said to SWNS. "I was shocked as my daughter is 7 years old. She has no habit of creating chaos anywhere in public places." Amin added he was greatly offended by the notice. "I felt so embarrassed, so I decided it was going to be a bad birthday celebration and suggested to my wife that we'd be better off leaving such a rude place," Amin told SWNS. Amin said that he and his family left the restaurant because of the rude note, but Sharma insists the notice was not meant to be taken that way. When Sandeep and his family were given the notice with the menu, they said it was rude and walked out. "We said, 'We're sorry, and this is a polite rule we give to everyone,'" he explained to SWNS. "Children are always welcome in the restaurant, and we even give them lollipops."
I want
Sounds
a
like
lollipop.
We'll get you one next time we go to the store, dear.
He has tentacles. Doesn't need a fucking lollipop.
We'll probably keep him about as quiet as it would.
That's right.
Children.
Go suck yourself, Twan.
So I have this statement right here. I felt so embarrassed, so I decided that it was going to be a bad birthday celebration. And I said to my wife that we should be better off leaving such a rude place. So this person already decided that because they got a note that it was going to ruin everything.
Kadant, I spilled rum all over my crotch. Come look it up. Ah, god damn it. Oh, there's rum and Pepsi everywhere and got a sticky crotch now. What the fuck? I'm sorry, was that out loud?
Uh-huh.
Oh, by all
Seems like
means,
a personal
continue.
problem.
Fucking remember.
And then there's also the fact that he took it as your daughter is going to be noisy and rude. It wasn't. It's just a generalization of all kids. Most kids are noisy and rude. That's why Moxley is always talking.
Have you ever hurt yourself?
Yes.
Okay, I think we can all rest our case about little kids talking too fucking much.
Yes, but I'm also 30.
He has
You
to have
could have
his
told us.
he has to have his microphone on listen to so I can listen to him talk while he's talking.
Sparky, did that make any sense?
And you have no room to talk, Sparky. When you start going, we're here for hours.
Hold on. Ishi. It's not that he doesn't have any room to talk. He doesn't have any room to talk.
What?
There's a bit of a difference there. See, there's talking and there's talking.
Ah, my
And
apologies.
Sparky doesn't do talking. He does talking. He
Talking.
talks about important things.
Okay.
Right, Sparky?
Fuck you, anti-hero.
No, not right now. I've got a headache.
Yes, but sex kills headaches.
Not that kind of sex.
Then Sparky's not doing it right.
Exactly. That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
Oh, okay. Anyway, this whole article, Amin is I can sum this up pretty quickly. Amin is a whiny little bitch because Jesus Christ, asking someone to have manners in public. Whatever can you do to oppress the brown man or black man? I'm not sure which one he is.
Oh, he's definitely brown.
How rude!
I like to point out that I am tan and I get oppressed all the time.
Yes, but you like being oppressed.
That is,
You are
that
dating
is
Susan.
slightly true, but I mean, other than that, you know what? I had a point here, and I'll get to it later, but I need more rum first. So, by all means, continue.
Well, you did spill it all over your crotch.
It's all right. Couldn't licked it up.
All right.
Uh-huh.
I
She
will
said
read
so.
the next one, I guess. Unless you want to take this one, Sparky.
It's whatever.
Make Sparky do it.
All right.
Well, I mean, since I can't talk, right? So.
Oh, Sparky, you know we love you.
All right.
I mean, like in an anal sex sort of way.
All right. Florida woman allegedly on crack. You don't say. Meth runs naked to get away from giant spider. Police say. Well, it's definitely meth. I mean, look at the face.
I think there's a song about that. It's
That is
definitely meth.
so meth.
Guys, that's actually not the worst I've seen. I used to live in a place where meth was like the drug of choice, and I've seen people who looked like gorgeous, gorgeous people after about 6 months of hard meth usage become the most hideous fucking trolls on the planet. That is not bad at all.
I was just saying it was meth because of her face.
And what I'm telling you is that is not the worst meth face ever. That is far from it.
Anyway, a woman in St. Petersburg, Florida, reportedly told authorities she took her clothes off and ran through a park naked in an attempt to get away from a giant spider. The woman, identified as 40-year-old Danielle Dolores Teeples, also admitted to police she had taken drugs, such as crystal meth and crack cocaine, prior to taking her clothes off, WFLA News reported. So she got a double dose. Witnesses who observed Teeples on Sunday told police the woman was acting erratically, rubbing her hands through her hair and on parts of her body while running through the park. Teeples, who allegedly refused to put her clothes back on initially, was later arrested and charged with indecent exposure, the station reported. Well, it was a short one. It's just the fact that she ran naked from a giant spider.
I don't know if there's a giant spider. She could have been naked at home and then got a little too warm and then saw the giant spider. And giant spider is a perfectly legitimate reason to not only run out the door buck-ass naked if you happen to be buck-ass naked, but to set your house on fire and move someplace else.
I would like to point out that this is why you shouldn't do drugs and play Skyrim.
I was going to say, what constitutes a giant spider?
Larger than a dime, it is a giant spider, and
that is
burn
not
your
a
house down.
giant spider. That is just that's just a spider.
You've never seen Camel Spider, have you?
Yes, I have.
I'm talking to Ishtar.
I have. They're not around here.
And what? How am I supposed to say her name? Semiface says I would just burn the house down. Exactly.
Well, look, Sam has actually burned down 4 houses so far.
Oh,
she's pretty adamant about that sort of thing. She has literally taken all her belongings out of the house and then burned the place down.
Yes, Fermion. Ishtar has basically told me she wants a pet tarantula and she wants it to run free through the house.
No.
She wants it to be able to play with her cats.
Antwon,
What?
you do sleep across the hall.
you do know tarantulas are not poisonous, right?
Spider-Man.
It's a giant
Spider-Man.
fucking
Does
spider.
whatever a spider can.
Okay, so see that a tarantula
So-
I would consider a giant spider.
Crawls across both your eyes. It's nestled between your thighs. Look out. There's the tarantula.
So
No.
funny story. No, funny story. Around Bottlesville, Oklahoma, about every fall, there's a migration of tarantulas that goes through the woods, and they're so thick within a very wide, large field, you can actually see the ground move. There's so many tarantulas.
Cool. I want to put Ishtar's butt in that. Just her butt. Like across the top of it, so that when the tarantulas move, all the 3 little tarantula legs tickle her butt.
No.
I think it would be the best form of torture for her. Antwon, make this happen.
No. Why do you hate
Antwon,
me?
make this happen.
Why do you hate me?
Oh, Big T has a cool fucking idea. He's like, send Ishtar a video of a camel spider fighting a scorpion.
Oh, I will not watch this.
Technically, no, and Furry and Finley's correct.
They're not, they're
Technically,
insects.
camel spiders aren't spiders. They are, on the other hand, terrifying and disgusting creatures.
They are, and they give no fucks. If they are threatened by something bigger than them, they don't run
I
away.
have
They
literally,
go after them.
I have literally seen a camel spider threat display an M1 and then try to follow it, angrily attacking the treads. Angrily attacking the treads. Like, what are you doing in my territory? You're an awful creature. I will burn the heart out of you. And the tank's like, I don't even know what's happening. But the camel spider is like, we are locked in a life or death battle. Don't you run away from me, motherfucker. That's how this goes. I have
Yeah.
seen camel spiders get stepped on, get back up, and attack people.
Jesus Christ.
I have literally seen a lieutenant freak out because there was a camel spider very close to him when he woke up, pull out his 9 and start firing, and I have watched the camel spider dodge the rounds. That's
God.
that's how not give a fuck camel spiders are.
So
My
you're talking
dad-
you're talking about the giant ones in the desert.
My dad tells this story when he went to Desert Storm about how they had an LT they did not like, and apparently they found a dozy. Because at night it gets real cold. They found a dozing camel spider, and so they picked up the camel spider. And so in the army, we have what's called mummy bags.
Oh,
Mummy
no.
bags just leave your face exposed. That's it. And so what they did is they said, okay, there's the LT. Let's put this camel spider, which is asleep because of the cold, on his face.
Oh God, no.
The camel spider and the LT woke up at roughly the same time. Apparently, my father and the rest of his company were not entirely certain who woke up first, but it turned into a negligent discharge moment because the lieutenant threw the camel spider off. The camel spider charged the lieutenant, and the lieutenant started shooting at the camel spider. Radio started going crazy. Oh my God, what are we doing? Enemy targets where? Where is the tango sighted? And lieutenant's like, it's at my feet, and kept shooting over and over. Emptied his entire pistol. The camel spider was completely nonplussed. Eventually, someone came over with I don't know, like a tire iron or something, and just beat the camel spider into a pulp while the LT was crying. Early on, you're correct. That is an appropriate response. There is nothing worse than an LT with a radio, a map, and a plan. And apparently, this LT had a lot of maps, a lot of radios, and a lot of plans, and they were all bad. At that point, my dad was part of an artillery unit, and this LT was like, let's go to the front lines. And the artillery unit was like, let's not do that. That's not our job.
That LT had the fucking nuclear launch codes. I guarantee you probably would have used them.
Exactly.
Nuked from orbit. So
It's
okay,
the only way to be.
there are different sizes of camel spiders. There's actually camel spiders in Southern California.
There's actually camel spiders in Texas and Arizona, but they're roughly the size of the first joint of your thumb.
Yes,
They are
And-
also still just as territorial.
they are. When I was working security at a construction site, I had never seen one before. Well, apparently the construction had disturbed a nest.
Oh no.
So I'm doing my patrol, and I look down and I see this weird looking fucking thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I really quickly look up on my phone. Oh, it's a fucking camel spider. So I get a little closer to see, because I've never seen one before. So I get a little closer. Motherfucker
And-
raised its arms at me and chased after me.
Yeah, they do that. They're they're like honey badgers, man. They are the invertebrate equivalent of honey badger. They give no fucks. They give no mercy. They're just there to eat your face.
So I am 6'3", and I am at the time I was well over 350. I backed away from this tiny fucking thing that decided to charge me.
Curry and Finley has made me look something up. I'll be right back. I need to check something.
Uh-oh.
All right,
I'm still listening.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next. We're gonna move on to the next story so we can stop.
Thank
talking
you.
about it.
Oh wow, she's right.
What?
Self-fugids, which are camel spiders and their cousins and whatnot. The only places they're not in are apparently Antarctica and Australia.
Wait, so they are not in the country that is filled with things that the top 10 things that want to kill you.
Yeah,
There's something wrong with that.
that's what I'm fucking saying.
No, it just means that the camel spiders are smarter than most of the people who live there.
It just means that camel spiders are somehow our friends. We've just yet to figure out how to talk to them.
Well, I mean, we can stop trying to shoot them with a 9mm.
No, we
Just
should
give them
definitely keep trying.
just give them a nice little
Yeah,
kiss.
that's weird. Solifugae generally inhabit warm and arid habitats, including virtually all warm deserts and scrublands in all continents, except Antarctica and Australia. So what that means, Furry, is that I'm going to have to transplant them to your country.
Oh, yes, the orb weaver.
Bye, Sammy! Go work! Go work! Go work! Enjoy retail. You're going to have an awful fucking day. I'm waving profusely like a moron, but no one can see.
No one can see. All right, now this is a story that was done on CNN, but we were going to be doing it earlier that morning. We just ended up talking about stupid kids stories instead. So, Sparky, I'm going to give this one to you.
Okay.
Bye, Fermion.
Bye, Fermion.
Enjoy your
bleeding.
shit. Also, hi, Lo-Fi.
Lo-fi.
There's a low in the chat. She's battled camel spiders her entire archaeological career. She's like Indiana Jones with snakes, only for her it's camel spiders.
I think it should be camel spiders forever.
Oh, look at this! It's a baby squiggle. It's fucking adorable.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. This one was covered on CNN.
All right, Sparky, this one's for you. Man being pursued by baby squirrel calls police for help.
It's so fucking adorable.
This is the squirrel.
I want to poke it with my sticks.
You want to... Don't poke the baby squirrel with your stick.
But it's a
That
sharp
just
stick.
sounds wrong. Can you not?
I said sticks. I have many, not just one.
Still, it's wrong. Don't do that.
You have to have a poking kit. I mean, how else do you poke multiple animals with sticks? I have a beach poking stick. I have a baby animal poking stick. I have an Ishtar poking stick. What?
You have an Ishtar poking stick?
Specifically, yes. It was designed just to poke Ishtars.
Do we need to talk about this in private?
Possibly.
Later.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Let's talk about this baby squiggle.
All right. Apparently there's an update, but go ahead, Sparky.
Oh my god, the update's amazing!
Okay. Update August 15th. The squirrel originally named Coral Fredericks has been found to be female and renamed Pepelope?
The squirrel, originally named Carl Friedrich, has been found to be female and is renamed Pipilotta.
Very good. An animal rescue agency is caring for Pipilotta and preparing her to be reintroduced into the wild into the near future. Previously, a man in Germany may not have been in danger when he called the cops on a baby squirrel chasing him, but it all worked out for the best for the furry suspect. Emergency services in the city of fuck it, I can't pronounce that. that town, got called Thursday from a man panicked that the tiny animal wouldn't stop following him around, the Guardian reported. Police arrived at the scene where the squirrel ultimately ended the pursuit by laying down and going to sleep. It turned out that the squirrel was the one who actually needed help, police said. It often happens that squirrels which have lost their mothers look for a replacement and then focus their efforts on one person. Police spokeswoman Christine Cringe told The Guardian.
There's more.
No. The squirrel, now named Carl Fredericks, is the
People eater. Just call it people eater.
yeah, people eater.
No.
Is in the
It was a one-eyed, one-horn, flying squirrely people eater.
fuck you and I hear. Goddamn, that song's gonna be in my head all
Flying squirrely
fucking
people
day.
eater.
She wears short shorts.
Flying purple people eater.
Just
I'm on.
let him read about the adorable baby squirrel that terrified a man. to call the
Antwon
police.
says we should get back on topic because he's Antwon.
The
That's
squirrel
what
is
you
in
sound
the care of the Animal Rescue Center. Clarouche police posted a statement on Facebook about the critter, including several adorable photos. The department wished to call Fredericks the best. The baby squirrel chase is the second police-involved squirrel incident to make international headlines this summer. Last month, a London woman called police after she heard loud noises in her home and suspected a burglar. The intruder turned out to be a rogue squirrel, according to law enforcement. Other authorities in Germany, in the German case, said the squirrel did need assistance. Wildlife experts generally warn that before intervening with a squirrel, you suspect is orphaned. You should do your best to make sure the creature truly requires help. The Wildlife Center of Virginia, which gets hundreds of calls annually about supposedly orphaned squirrels, published this handy guide to help determine whether such an animal really needs help and what to do if so. When in doubt, contact local wildlife rescue, rehab centers, or animal control.
I'm sorry. This is an adorable baby squirrel. It is an adorable baby squirrel. That is all. I would adopt that squirrel.
It'd probably play well with the cats.
All right, let's see here. Do you want to read the second article you sent, Auntie?
I sent 2 articles. Oh yeah. No, I can read that one.
Okay.
This is just because we brought up meth people earlier.
Oh, this is a long one. Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
It's not nearly as long as you think because they've double spaced fucking everything. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read a little bit.
Hey, Antwon, your best friend's in the chat.
My best friend is in the chat. Who is my best friend?
Antwon has friends.
Oh, God damn it. Not go away.
Harsh.
All right, let's.
What happened?
That's code for he loves you, Vlad.
Oh, that's right. Because Vlad Twan is a thing, right? Let me make sure it's a thing for everyone to know about.
Impaled Tron is
Vlad Twan. All right. So this is a story that I refer to frequently. I actually was living in this place near this area when this happened. And we called them the Popsicle Twins. So on January, it was like, meth makes winter deadly for a young couple. On January 4th, 2005, Janelle Hornicle and her boyfriend Michael Walmsley, both 20, were heading home to their apartment in Omaha, Nebraska, when they got caught in a snowstorm. For those of you who don't know, January in Nebraska is basically just one large snowstorm.
There's no break.
It lasts most of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of the evening, the couple made a series of bizarre, frantic phone calls to 911, asking for help in finding their way home. At one point, Walmsley said they had come across hundreds of bystanders who didn't speak English. Hornicle said others were taking cars apart and putting them in the trees. I read that correctly, by the way.
Others were taking cars apart and
putting them in the trees. The couple also left their truck, which still had a half tank of gas, warm clothes, and Walmsley's cell phone. It was minus 10 degrees with the wind chill. Walmsley's body was found the next day. 6 days later, authorities found Hornicle's body. Both had frozen to death. The 911 dispatcher receiving the couple's phone calls that night had no idea what was happening. But authorities now know the couple was high on crystal meth, a super concentrated form of methamphetamine, a drug that has become the scourge of middle America.
You have to say scourge with a little bit more disdain. And
a small amount of crystal meth, 90% pure, was found in the couple's truck, and both tested positive for meth at levels that indicate they had taken the drug some 2 or 3 days before they called 911. So we're going to skip ahead a little because it's going to talk about how they met because we care about that somehow.
Trees above Mandalay?
When Walmsley and Hornicle first sought the help of authorities on the night they died, they were not immediately suspected to be drug users. They were pulled over in the small town of Geneva at 7:30 in the evening for failing to signal. They told the officer they were lost and received a warning ticket in directions to the highway. They were 120 miles from their apartment in Omaha. 5 hours later, at 12:30 a.m. and 23 miles from home, their truck spun off the road. Hornicle called 911 and painted a bizarre picture for the dispatcher. There's a lot of Mexicans and African Americans, and they're all dressed up in like these cult outfits, and they're moving all the vehicles, she said. She said people were taking the cars apart and putting them in the trees. She gave their location as trees above the Mandalay apartments in Omaha. But authorities were confused. Her cell phone said it was coming from Sparky County, Nebraska, not Omaha. Nevertheless, they sent police to the Mandalay and found nothing. If they had been lost in almost any other state, Hornicle and Walmsley might have been found. But Nebraska is just one of 9 states that does not have the most up-to-date 911 GPS tracking system for cell phones, so operators could not pinpoint their location. At 1:05 a.m., Walmsley called 911. He said he and Hornicle had left the truck, but he still insisted they were near the Mandalay apartments. Dispatcher Patty Viberg told him a policeman had been sent and could not find them. They need to come further south, open the gates, Walmsley responded. There are no gates in the area, but still another policeman was sent to the area around the apartment complex. By this time, several operators in 3 counties were targeted to figure out where the couple might actually be. They suspected drugs were involved. At 1:45 a.m., Walmsley called again. Knowing how cold it was outside, Viberg urged him to return to his vehicle. He said it was rolled over on its top, and Viberg feared it could be leaking gasoline. But the truck was actually upright, just off the road. Walmsley said they encountered people, but he didn't think they spoke English. "We've tried, we've asked for help, we've begged," he said. Around 2 a.m., they called again to say they stumbled upon a small, unheated shack. Worried about their safety in the sub-zero temperatures, Viberg asked him to stay there. She also asked Walmsley if he need drugs that night. He said no. At 3 a.m., Walmsley called back and said that he was going to walk some more, and left the shelter of the shack. The last call came at 4:20 a.m. The couple had been out in below freezing temperatures now at least 4 hours. Walmsley's last call was short, less than 2 minutes. "Hey, this is Mike Walmsley," he told Viberg. "I've just escaped. Please come get me." So it talks about how they talked to Hornicle's mother and everything, and then it was back to the New Year's Eve. Twilla Hornicle doesn't blame Walmsley for her daughter's death. "He respected her. He was always kind to her. I don't know what happened," she said. Meanwhile, investigators trying to find the source of the methamphetamine have arrested a mother and son who live in Kearney, Nebraska, and charged them with possession of methamphetamine.
Dun dun
They
dun.
attempted a party at the house of Judith Morell, 48, and Micah Morell, 19, on New Year's Eve. Authorities have not said whether they believe the Morells supplied Walmsley and Hornicle with methamphetamine. The Morells refuse to talk to prime time. Now, so like this story was really, really fucking amusing, and it got used a lot when I was living in Nebraska. Because it was like this crazy thing about, look, this is how fucked up meth is. They mentioned Kearney in there. So like Kearney, Grand Island, and Hastings are this little Tri-City area in Nebraska. And one of those towns is a distribution center for meth. Another one is a production center for meth. And the third one is a money laundering from meth sales center. I lived in Hastings. Of the Grand Island, Hastings, Kearney, Tri-City area for a while. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people in that town who are just fucked up.
Well,
Explains a lot.
Not about me. I don't do hard drugs.
That
All right.
The Illuminati could have been slipping them to you.
Yes, it's you don't know.
So, if anyone hadn't noticed, I've been spamming a YouTube link in the chat.
Yes, Vlad, I can read.
Go
Yes,
watch it
only
after the
placid
stream.
drugs.
Why do you want us to watch this?
We're not
Wait.
watching it.
What is it?
It's a video that happened apparently behind the scenes of Moxley's little wrestling game thing.
Oh, okay.
It's me whooping the shit out of Antwon backstage.
You keep believing that'll actually happen.
It happened. The video proof's right there.
All right, this one is for you, Ishtar.
Okay, which one? Oh, that one. All right, give me a sec.
Man who slapped hippo's butt at LA Zoo is still at large.
That fucking sexual predator.
Police in Los Angeles are on the lookout for a man who was recently captured on video trespassing at the LA Zoo and getting dangerously hands-on with a hippopotamus. In the footage posted to Twitter on August 7th, the unidentified man is seen climbing over a railing into a restricted area near the zoo's hippo enclosure. He then leans close to the two animals standing by the wall, a mother and daughter pair named Mara and Rosie, and smacks 4-year-old Rosie on her bottom, the Los Angeles Times reported.
Pedophile.
I was just thinking that. After the slap, Rosie flinches and Mara appears startled. The assailant jumps back over the railing and flees. The incident came to the attention of zoo administrators after the video was widely shared on social media last week. And although police received a trespassing report...
No yawning, what are you doing?
Sorry.
Drink more rum and Pepsi.
I don't have any.
Well, fucking fix that.
Although police received a trespassing report, no official charges have been filed, LAPD representatives told ABC News. Even so, the butt slap was a dangerous move. April Spurlock, a representative of the LA Zoo, told Live Science in an email. Any unauthorized interaction with an animal is unsafe for the animal and potentially unsafe for the patron, Spurlock said.
Potentially?
Potentially.
You just smacked a fucking hippo on the ass.
If the
you walk away with your hand.
Yeah, if the hippo decided to, it could eat him.
I would like to point out that in Africa, there are many more hippo deaths than there are any other kind of animal deaths.
Hippos are oddly, weirdly cute, but they are scary motherfuckers.
And vicious.
That sounds like me. Oddly cute, but terrifying.
I'd call you territorial.
And Big T, I'm totally about to pour more shots. Don't worry. We're getting there, buddy. I got you covered.
Unauthorized entry into animal enclosures at the zoo is prohibited by state law and may be punishable as a misdemeanor or an infraction, Spurlock added. Viewed more than 440,000 times on Twitter, the footage shows the man slowly reaching over to deliver a swift slap to Rosie's rear, after which he leaps over the rail and turns to face the camera, seemingly raising his arms victoriously before he jogs away.
There's a video. No sound is going to play, but we're gonna watch the video.
Instant copyright flag.
Yeah, like for real though. Like, is this a smart decision?
I've
Wow.
done it before.
Do not drink a shit ton of rum on empty stomach. Holy God. Whew. I can taste my own tongue.
Okay, then.
All right. Continue on.
Kadun just wants to get drunk and naked, that's all.
Well,
She's over
yeah.
in the chat. She's like, drink more into other mistakes you'll make. Oh, I might put dick in Antwon's ass. That would be a mistake, wouldn't it?
And
Bend over, Antwon!
And Vlad with a very racist statement, and it's a black guy. Shocking.
You fucking bigot, Vlad. You horrible man. Would you say it if it were a white person? Would you? You Hugh White bastard.
Wow.
I had to look that up, by the way.
Okay.
It was another SJW term I didn't understand. Like what the fuck is Hugh White? And I found out they were just making fun of people who wanted to emphasize the H in white and be like white. And I was like, that's stupid. But nobody agreed with me. They kept using it.
So they basically are ripping off Stewie.
I don't know.
They thought the Cool Whip thing was.
Oh
funny.
no! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I'll kill you.
What's wrong? What's wrong with Cool Whip?
I'll kill you to death.
Whip.
There will. Sparky, you just ruined it. Never mind. It's over. There's no more funny in this joke.
Sparky is the killer of jokes.
Sparky just fucking murdered that joke with extreme fucking prejudice. He took a fucking 50 caliber Desert Eagle, put it to the side of that joke's head, asked it how any last words, and then killed it before it could speak.
Fuck yeah. I'm undefeated.
I can fix that.
Anyway, let's continue on talking about the hippo and how bad it is to slap one on the ass.
Hippos have thick skin, but it is also very sensitive, Spurlock told Live Science. The slap would likely have stung temporarily, and Rosie has exhibited no behavioral changes since then, fortunately. However, actions such as this can undermine the delicate trust that zoo professionals work hard to establish with the animals they care for. While hippos may appear amusingly lumbering and awkward, they have sharp tusks and can move very quickly. They are considered to be one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, says Michelle Curley, a representative of the Cincinnati Zoo. Cincinnati Zoo's resident hippo, an endearing 1-year-old named Fiona, weighs about weighs about 865 pounds and is still growing. And even though she's been around people since she was born, her keeper still observes strict safety rules during their interactions with her. At the LA Zoo, Mara gave birth to Rosie in 2014, and Rosie was the first hippo calf born at the zoo in 26 years, officials said in a statement that year. At 4 years old, Rosie is now just about fully grown, and an adult female hippo can weigh as much as 3,000 pounds. So he's not really a pedophile, he's more barely legal.
And a chubby chaser, apparently.
Clearly.
But he is black, so I mean, there's that. It makes sense.
Special tours at the LA Zoo offer a behind-the-scenes look at the habitat and habits of hippos and other wild animals. However, these encounters take place under the very close supervision of zoo officials and animal caregivers, and guests are never permitted to enter animals' enclosures on their own. Mara and Rosie were unharmed by the experience. Nevertheless, after zoo officials found out about the hippo, no trespassing signs were installed near the hippos to deter copycat rule breakers for the protection of the visitors as much as for the animals. It is a privilege to observe these rare and endangered species, but they are still wild animals and their space must be respected at all times, they said. Because a sign is going to stop everything.
Well, you know, it's supposed to. It doesn't mean it does.
It never does. Ever.
Like, Sparky owes me a sign.
Sparky does owe you a sign, but you're never going to get it, ever.
Where did Sparky go?
What'd you do to Sparky?
Anti-hero, what did you do to Sparky?
I was hungry.
Okay, that's a viable reason.
Look, you have to have something to offset the alcohol.
How long have you been drinking?
Since we started.
Wow.
And I did not eat breakfast first.
You have only been a host for not even a full, officially a host, for not even a full day. And Antwon, you're already driving him to drink? This is a new
I have
record
also,
for you, dude.
Hold on. Let's be honest here. I've been working with Antwon for how long?
Couple weeks.
I'm sorry about that.
What did you do, Sparky?
I didn't do anything. It's storming here. We just had a lightning strike and the lights went out and came back on. So I had to restart my computer.
Okay then. All right, I have a fun article to raise everyone's spirits.
The hippos didn't raise your spirits, Antwon?
Well, it was about a black man smacking a big fat ass. So that's actually kind of par for the course.
Wow. Just fucking wow, Antwon.
Hang on. It's like
He's not entirely wrong.
That is. I smack asses and I'm not black.
Do you smack big fat asses?
Only there's a big fat ass nearby to smack.
Well,
Okay, then.
I'll smack a petite ass too. I mean, look, an ass is an ass. You hit it hard enough, it'll jiggle.
Again, you're not wrong.
not wrong.
I'll smack Sparky on the ass if he's too close. Crack! Oh, that's right. Sparky will be like, "Oh God, Daddy!" It'll be so fucking awkward.
yeah, you probably break your hand.
And I'll fucking record that shit too.
You breaking your hand? Yeah, that'd be funny to watch.
I want this.
I kind of want to see this video.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yes, please. We will feature it on Caffeinated or Die.
Yes, it will be the best. It will be the only video playing at the time.
Just on loop.
Just on loop.
And I hope you fly out to me because I'm not flying up north.
No, Vlad's right. He's like, Carefulland's hair broadcast. Sparky will wape you. And look, I don't need you to try and put anything in my butt, Sparky. That is an exit only.
Yes, but see, Cadunt wants to see the sparks fly.
Yeah, she wants me to grab Sparky by his fucking throat and throw him across the room.
No, I think she wants to see the sparks fly between you.
She says, quote unquote, sparks. That could be any sort of interpretation I want it to be. Also, the guy who wrote this article, his name is amazing. Dalrymple II. He sounds like some sort of wizard from the medieval times.
This is BuzzFeed, so you never know. He may identify as a wizard.
As an arcane Apache warrior wizard? Yes, I know.
So we are talking about BuzzFeed News, which of course is an oxymoron, and the fact that they call him, right-wing conspiracy theories. This person could just be very, very, barely right of center. But let's see what happens. The man arrested for allegedly starting a massive wildfire pushed right-wing conspiracy theories. Forrest Clark, accused of sparking the 18,000-acre Holy Fire in California. Holy Fire. Oh, well, yeah. Shared debunked conspiracy theories, including about pedophiles controlling the world. We call that Hollywood.
Yeah. Accurate.
Is that? I hope to God that's not a picture of him. That's horrible.
Oh dear. I like the strategically placed door. Somebody planned that shot.
You think? A man arrested.
Pretty sure, actually.
A man arrested this week for allegedly setting a massive Southern California wildfire.
Allegedly.
I said allegedly.
Allegedly.
I said allegedly.
Allegedly.
Has a history of making threats and sharing bogus anti-government conspiracy theories online, including the baseless idea that the world is run by a secret cabal of pedophiles.
They're called the Clintons.
Sparky, take that back. Take that back. Certain members of that particular dynasty kill people for saying things like that. Sparky, take it back. Quickly, disavow. Disavow publicly right now.
Fuck the Clintons.
Oh my God, Sparky's gonna be dead in 2 weeks.
We'll be looking for another host shortly.
Sparky's gonna be dead in 2 fucking weeks.
So,
He'll mysteriously hung himself.
The Clintons are gonna be hunting Sparky down. Does anybody want to take his spot when he disappears? I'm just asking. I need to know now. Forrest Clark, 51, was arrested Tuesday after investigators concluded he had intentionally set the holy fire, which, as of Friday, had burned more than 18,000 acres in Orange and Riverside counties. The blaze has also destroyed at least a dozen buildings, and was only 5% contained as of Friday afternoon. Kadant, this is the person you have to blame for the fact that your lungs are now black.
I was gonna say, is that the same fire?
It's possibly. Clark is currently facing 3 counts of arson, 1 count of making criminal threats, and 2 counts of resisting police. Prosecutors have not said what Clark's motives may have been, but a Facebook page appearing to belong to him suggests he was obsessed with the fringe anti-government conspiracy theories. In one instance, on July 17th, he shared a YouTube video, which has since been taken down, with the caption, "Protect our children, execute the pedos." I don't see a problem with that title.
Vlad, you better be careful because, your YouTube might get taken down.
Look, I just want to point out that to be totally serious here, I understand the sentiment, and I would like to say that pedophiles are absolutely fucking disgusting. But on the same token, when you start dehumanizing any group, it's a slippery slope to dehumanizing the rest of those groups. And the easiest way to do it, the easiest way to start a dehumanization campaign for any group is to start it with somebody who is easily hated. And then you can just broaden the spectrum of what is easily hated. So it starts with pedos, which are very easy to despise, and it moves from there. It's a slippery slope and one I don't approve of.
The demontation is working?
No, not at all. I'm being very legitimate right now.
I know you are.
Those people need to be dealt with in the exact way that the justice system would describe. I think they need to rework the justice system in a lot of different facets, but they need to be handled by the system, not by people with the vigilante stuff, not by sociopaths, not by kill 'em all mentalities. They need to be handled on a case-by-case basis like everyone else. If we dehumanize them just because they're awful fucking people, then we stand a chance of dehumanizing everyone else. It's something I never want to see happen in America. And it's already happening bit by bit with certain groups. Anyway, that was my serious moment for the day.
It's happening to white people all over the place.
That was my serious moment for the day. Let's go back to being drunk and assholish. Fuck you, Antwon. Sparky, go fucking be a vibrator for Antwon. Ishtar, you watch in the goddamn corner like a good girl. Let's get back to the news.
I'm a good girl?
The voting family actually has a good point.
What? That he's the? She says that he's the reason that half of our firefighters are in America. Well, it is an 18th. If it hasn't been put out now, then the fire has been raging out of control for a while.
I know a couple hotshot groups around the area that's actually deployed in places in California and I believe in Wyoming right now on large fires. I don't know if this one is one of them, but I picked this story not because of the pedo thing, but because of the wildfire thing, because that's what caught my eye on it. Okay. Wildfires in the forest are scary fucking beasts. I'll talk more about it later, but we can finish the story right now.
Okay. The post was just the latest of Clark's comments about pedophilia. Earlier in July, he wrote, "Hang the pedophile Pope." And in April, he shared a now-deleted YouTube video alleging to reveal indictments of Joe Biden and wrote, "Save our children, save our country, hang them all." The posts appear to reference a widespread right-wing conspiracy theory known as QAnon. Okay. Subscribers to the theory believe that President Trump is poised to stop a secret group of powerful people who operate child sex rings. Where do people come up with this shit?
Well, not to sound like an instant naysayer, but the people who scream loudest about pedophile activity probably need their hard drives checked.
Yeah, well, that's the same theory that works so well for the male feminists. The ones who scream about opposing rape and sexual assault and everything usually have it in their history. The Q in QAnon stands for a person or group of people who post vague messages online that believers interpret as evidence supporting the theory. Fans also believe, without proof, that Q is a high-placed government official.
Okay.
They do know that he's... now, if they're talking about Q from the James Bond films, that stands for Quartermaster. If they're talking about Q from Star Trek, that's a falsified character of infinite power.
No, I know who they're talking about because my mom follows this crap all the damn time. Q is actually a person that's behind the scenes in the government, close to Donald Trump, and he leaks information out about certain things and topics, whether he's real, false, fake, I don't know. But that's who they're referring to when they say Q.
All right. Though the theory has thrived on internet message boards such as 4chan and 8chan, it has also prompted some believers to take real-world action. In June, an armed man who appeared to reference the theory was arrested after driving an armored vehicle onto a bridge over the Hoover Dam. And in July, a man claiming to have found a child sex camp was arrested in Arizona. Brian Levin, who studies hate and extremism at California State University San Bernardino, told BuzzFeed News Friday that there appears to be a link with respect to the location of the wildfires and the use of weapons. It's not talking about swords and maces and batons. It's talking about guns. Because he's studying hate and extremism.
Unless they're using spotter tracer, incendiary rounds, or anything like that, there's no way that set that fire.
He's borrowing a certain type of MO from what he sees online, Levin said. Levin pointed to comments Clark made online about Agenda 21, a UN action plan from 1992 that conspiracy theorists believe is really
Antwon.
What?
Antwon.
What?
This is the ghost of Wrench's
Oh
past.
my god.
Why have you not wrenched Mortimus? She has asked specifically why you haven't addressed the question, you Antwonian whore.
I was reading the article. I can address it after it's over.
But the question has been posed. So you have to answer.
Anyway,
Nope, answer the question.
I will address the question after the article.
Answer the question now.
Levin pointed to comments Clark made online about Agenda 21, a UN action plan from 1992 that conspiracy theorists believe is really a pretense for powerful globalists to seize control of land. Clark appeared to draw a connection between Agenda 21 and starting fires. The thing I thought was so interesting was he talked about these fire weapons, Levin said, and he accused the government of using technology, including lasers, to cause arson to advance their Agenda 21. How much more of this is there? Jesus. Alright, I'm done reading this. This is fucking stupid. Tish, the reason you don't have a wrench is because this isn't the normal channel where you do have a wrench. This is actually the first time you've shown up on Caffeinated or Die, so that's why you don't have a wrench. There, see? Simple answer.
Sorry, I zoned out. What was your answer?
Not gonna say it again.
This is poor leadership at its best. Bam. I'm reading an article that attracted my attention, so I'm mildly zoned out.
So what's the article?
I don't think it's super relevant. It's just somebody in the chat had asked. Actually, it is kind of relevant, I guess. So in the chat, where'd it go? Big T said, anyone have thought on the James Gunn thing and/or Dave Bautista? And I'm like, Bautista? Bautista's the man. So what's going on with him? Because I hadn't heard. So I went and looked, and apparently he's being incredibly voluble about his defense of James Gunn. And I think that's kind of interesting there.
Yes,
That's
he's defending James Gunn, and so is the rest of the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy. But Batista actually said if they don't bring him back, he's going to ask to be let go of his contract.
Wow, they won't let him though.
He can buy himself out of his contract.
Yeah, but still, that's buying yourself out's never great. It looks awful, and then they play it up really bad.
No, I understand that, but it's still, it's showing his support.
So like for instance, on the we were asked what's our opinion on the James Gunn thing. So I'll say my opinion for the first and last time, really. I think James Gunn's jokes were stupid. They were awful. They were very distasteful. On the other hand, if the FBI has gone and investigated, which I'm sure they have, and he's been found to just be guilty of bad jokes, then shut the fuck up.
It's probably because they want the same justice as what they got over in Scotland for Dankula.
Look, that first off, that's not a justice. That's a travesty and a miscarriage of justice. The point I'm attempting to make is that there are going to be societal consequences. So if you make a shit joke, then you know what? I mean, unfortunately, Disney is part of a for-profit organization, so they can remove you if they feel it's necessary. On the other hand, I think threatening people with physical violence and saying that you should die, that you're a horrible fucking person, which James Gunn has received lots of threats like that, I think that's just as reprehensible as the jokes he made. But that's a long, fucking convoluted story. I'll happily get into that with anybody who wants to. My DMs are always open. Also, I'm mildly intoxicated.
Just mildly.
Am I slurring? Am I slurring? Is there a slurred word going on here?
There is now.
Well, yeah, I just made it happen.
All right, so apparently I didn't hear any of what you had to say because my internet is continually trying to shut myself down.
Fuck you. That was the gist of it, really.
Okay. So I am actually going to cut the show a little short because I don't want to suddenly just disconnect. So,
are you saying you're getting rid of my 20 minutes of making you feel like an ass?
You don't make me feel like an ass.
Because that is exactly what I'm hearing right now. Fermion, I got you, son. I got you.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything my co-host would like to say for final thoughts, aside from Anti-Hero Broadcast?
Well, I've got one thing. After the show, please go to this link and watch the marvelous fight between me and Antwon getting his ass kicked. Please come by and watch McKenna Tuesdays with myself, Killer Groove, and Starwind. We'll be talking about Big O. And that's about it.
Ishtar, thank you for joining us. Do you have anything to say?
Not really.
Thank you for bringing the article about the black man smacking the large ass.
You're welcome.
As Kadant is spamming the link in the chat, please go help Anti-Hero Broadcast. Go to his GoFundMe, donate whatever you.
I can't even speak for myself now. Is that it? Are you just disenfranchising me with that, like just like that? Are you fucking oppressing me?
Yes.
Totally.
Now shut up.
Are you oppressing me?
He needs help.
I'm
Please
feeling
go help
oppressed.
him.
I'm an oppressed minority. What the fuck is wrong with you, Antwon? Every goddamn time.
Zach, you have time for that on the show. Join us tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for a brand new episode of Army of Snarkness. And you can join me, the trio, and Sarah. And I hope to see you all there. So thank you for joining us, everyone. And I will definitely see you next time. Join us next week. And remember, caffeinate or die.